Ladies, let's get real. How many times have you found yourself wondering if he's really into you? You see, attraction isn't always about what someone says. Often it's in the subtle, unspoken moments. Those fleeting glances, the way his voice changes when he talks to you, or even how he holds himself in your presence. Yet so many of us miss these cues because we're too focused on the wrong things, text responses, grand gestures, or over-analyzing every word he says. Here's the truth. Men show their feelings in ways that are often indirect yet incredibly telling. You don't need to be a mind reader. You just need to know what to look for. And once you unlock these secrets, it will completely shift your approach to relationships. Forget the waiting game, forget endless second-guessing. Instead, learn to decode the signals he's already sending. In this video, we're diving deep into the 10 unmistakable signs that a man is attracted to you, and how you can use this knowledge to not only understand him better but also build stronger connections. Each of these signs is backed by real behavioral psychology and sprinkled with a little Stoic dating wisdom, because true connection requires a calm, centered, and confident approach. So, are you ready to uncover the truth? By the end of this journey, you won't just know how he feels, you'll know what to do about it. Keep watching, because the last sign is the one that will completely change the way you see attraction forever. 1. The power of prioritization. Let me ask you this. When was the last time someone made you feel like you were truly important? Not just with words, but through actions that left no room for doubt. Because that's the first clear sign of attraction. A man who's drawn to you will prioritize you in ways that go beyond surface-level effort. Imagine this scenario. He has a packed schedule, deadlines looming, friends demanding his time. Yet somehow, he's carving out space for you. He's showing up, even if it's inconvenient. But here's the thing, it's not about him being available 24/7. It's about the quality of the time he's offering and the intentions behind it. When he puts effort into seeing you or rearranging his day to accommodate you, he's not just being polite. He's sending you a message, you matter. This kind of prioritization is rooted in authenticity, not obligation. And let's be honest, don't we all want someone who wants to be there, not someone who feels they should? Stoicism teaches us that actions always speak louder than words. A Stoic dating mindset reminds us to pay attention to consistent effort rather than promises. So if he's moving mountains to make time for you, that's your first undeniable clue that he's captivated by you. But let's go deeper. What does prioritization look like in the real world? Maybe it's as simple as him texting you first thing in the morning or checking in after a busy day. Maybe it's him remembering the little details about your life, the way you take your coffee, the name of your best friend, or the fact that you've been nervous about that big work presentation. He doesn't have to say, "You're important to me," because his actions already scream it. Still not convinced? Ask yourself this. Does he make you feel like you're in competition with his other priorities? Or does he create space for you effortlessly? A man who's truly attracted to you will never make you feel like you're an afterthought. He'll make you feel seen, heard, and appreciated, even in the smallest ways. However, it's important to approach this with a sense of self-worth and balance. Stoicism reminds us to value ourselves first. Don't chase someone's attention. Instead, observe who naturally prioritizes you. Relationships aren't about proving your worth, they're about connecting with someone who already sees it. But what if he's not showing this sign yet? Here's where your patience comes into play. Sometimes, a man might need a little space to realize your absence, to truly understand how much he values your presence. Absence doesn't always mean indifference, it often means reflection. By maintaining your own life and interests, you're sending a powerful message. I value myself and I want someone who does too. Here's the magic. When a man prioritizes you, he's not just investing his time. He's investing his energy, his focus, and his intentions. And in a world where distractions are everywhere, isn't that the kind of connection we all crave? 2. Subtle physical cues. Ladies, here's where it gets interesting. Have you ever felt like someone was saying 1,000 things to you without even uttering a word? That's the beauty of body language, it doesn't lie. When a man is truly attracted to you, His body often betrays him in the best way possible. These subtle physical cues might seem small at first, but trust me, they carry an enormous message. The key is learning to decode them. Now, let's start with something surprisingly simple but backed by science. Blinking. Yes, blinking. Studies reveal that when someone is nervous or excited, their blinking rate tends to increase, especially during a conversation. It's an unconscious reaction. He's not aware he's doing it, but his body is speaking for him. If you notice his eyes fluttering just a little faster when he's looking at you, it's a telltale sign that your presence has him captivated. But that's just the beginning. Have you ever caught a man mirroring your gestures? Maybe you leaned in slightly during a conversation, and a few seconds later he did the same. This subconscious behavior is a powerful indicator of attraction. He's trying to connect with you on a deeper level, aligning his energy with yours without even realizing it. Mirroring is his way of saying, "I'm tuned into you." Let's take it a step further. Pay attention to how he positions his body when he's around you. Is he leaning in, even when there's no practical need to do so? Does he angle his shoulders toward you, creating a little world where only the two of you exist? That's because attraction draws him closer, literally. He wants to minimize the distance between you, even if it's just a subconscious urge. And what about those accidental touches? You know, the ones his hand brushes against yours, or he places his hand on your back as you walk through a door. These moments aren't random. They're deliberate yet subtle ways of testing the waters, of building intimacy without words. Physical touch, even in its lightest form, is one of the clearest indicators of interest. But here's the kicker, his voice. Have you noticed it changes when he speaks to you? Perhaps it softens or he slows down, as though every word is carefully chosen to hold your attention. This isn't just in your imagination. Men often subconsciously lower their voice pitch when talking to someone they're attracted to. It's their way of appearing more confident, more alluring. So why does all of this matter? Because body language is a direct line to the truth. Words can be rehearsed or insincere, but physical cues, they're raw, unfiltered, and completely authentic. When you learn to read these signs, it's like unlocking a secret language of attraction. But let's not stop there. Let's talk about what to do next. If you notice these subtle signs, don't feel pressured to respond immediately. Attraction is as much about confidence as it is about connection. Practice a little stoicism here. Take note of his actions, but stay grounded in your own value. Instead of rushing to reciprocate, let the dynamic build naturally. This kind of calm, centered energy, the essence of Stoic dating, makes you even more magnetic. Here's a fun challenge. The next time you're with him, observe how his body reacts when he's near you. Does he fidget, adjust his clothes, or seem more alert? These aren't just random actions, they're signs he's hyper-aware of your presence. If he's doing all this without even realizing it, congratulations, you've got his attention. Now, before we move on to the next unmistakable sign, I want to hear from you. Did any of these physical cues resonate with you? Have you ever noticed a man blinking more, leaning in closer, or mirroring your gestures? If so, let's talk about it. Like this video and comment number 1 below if you've experienced any of these signs. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next secrets of attraction we'll uncover. Remember, these physical cues aren't just fleeting moments, they're his way of saying, "You've got my full attention." So, stay tuned, because the next sign is about late-night vulnerability and what it reveals about his true feelings. You won't want to miss it. 3. Vulnerability through late-night conversations. Let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those deep, late-night talks where the world seems to fall away, and suddenly, it's just the two of you sharing truths you didn't even know you had? These moments aren't accidental. They're rare, beautiful, and incredibly revealing when it comes to understanding someone's feelings. If a man opens up to you during those quiet, unguarded hours, it's a clear sign that he feels something deeper for you. There's a reason late-night conversations feel so different. Psychology tells us that people are more likely to be honest when they're tired. The defenses we carry during the day, the ones that help us navigate social situations and protect our vulnerabilities, start to fade as our energy dwindles. So when he chooses to call, text, or even stay up just to talk with you during those hours, he's letting you into a part of himself that not everyone gets to see. But it's not just about timing, it's about what he shares. Does he talk about his dreams, his fears, or the things that keep him up at night? Maybe he tells you about the struggles he's faced or the goals he's working toward. Vulnerability isn't always easy for men. Society often teaches them to mask their emotions and stay strong. So when he allows himself to be vulnerable with you, he's showing trust, and trust is one of the most powerful indicators of attraction. Think about the last time you had a late-night conversation with someone who truly mattered to you. Didn't it feel like an unspoken agreement, a moment where walls came down and connection became effortless? That's exactly what's happening when he opens up to you. He's not just talking, he's inviting you into his world. But there's another layer to this. Vulnerability during these moments isn't just about sharing feelings, it's also about listening. Pay attention to how he engages with you during these talks. Does he listen intently when you share your own thoughts and feelings? Does he ask thoughtful questions, as though he genuinely wants to understand you better? If he's fully present in the conversation, it's a sign he's emotionally invested. Now, let's address a common misconception. Vulnerability doesn't mean weakness. In fact, it's the opposite. Allowing someone to see your flaws, your doubts, and your struggles requires immense strength. And when he does this with you, it's his way of saying, I feel safe with you. That safety, that openness, doesn't happen unless there's a strong emotional pull. But here's the catch, this isn't something you can force. Vulnerability unfolds naturally. If you try to push for it too soon, you risk creating pressure instead of connection. Stoicism teaches us to let things flow, to accept people as they are, and allow moments to unfold without force. This principle is key in Stoic dating, creating space for someone to share at their own pace while maintaining your own centeredness. One of the most beautiful things about these late-night conversations is how they deepen the bond between two people. It's not just about attraction anymore, it's about connection, trust, and intimacy. These moments lay the foundation for something real, something that goes beyond surface-level interest. But how can you tell if these talks truly mean something? Here's a clue. How does he act the next day? If he follows up, remembers what you talked about, or references something you shared, that's a sign he values the connection you're building. Late-night vulnerability isn't just about passing the time. For him, it's a way of strengthening the bond between you. So, the next time he calls you late at night, or you find yourselves lost in conversation as the hours slip away, remember this. He's not just sharing his thoughts, he's showing you a side of himself that's reserved for someone special, and that someone could very well be you. Keep this in mind as we move forward, because the next sign builds on this foundation of emotional connection. It's all about how he makes you feel valued even when you're not at your best. And trust me, this one might just change the way you see relationships forever. 4. The way he makes you feel valued. Let me ask you this. Have you ever been around someone who made you feel like the best version of yourself, even when you weren't at your best? That's not just kindness, that's intention. When a man is truly attracted to you, he doesn't just notice you on your good days. He sees you when you're tired, stressed, or even doubting yourself, and instead of pulling away, he leans in. Here's the truth. Life isn't perfect. You're not always going to look or feel your best. But when a man genuinely values you, those moments don't push him away. They pull him closer. He'll find ways to show you that you're enough, just as you are. Maybe he compliments you on something deeper than your appearance, like your sense of humor, your creativity, or the way you light up a room with your energy. Or maybe it's the way he's there for you when you're feeling overwhelmed, offering support without hesitation. This isn't about grand gestures, it's about consistency. Attraction goes beyond infatuation when a man takes the time to lift you up, even when you feel like you're stumbling. He doesn't shy away from the tough moments because to him, they're just part of the bigger picture. He sees your strength even when you don't. Think about this. How does he treat you when you're not on? Is he patient when you're having a bad day? Does he encourage you to pursue your goals even when you're feeling stuck? These small yet powerful actions reveal his true feelings. When someone makes you feel valued during your lows, it's a clear sign that their attraction isn't superficial. It's rooted in something real. And let's not forget the way he listens. When a man truly cares, he listens not to respond but to understand. He remembers the details you share, whether it's about your favorite coffee shop or a childhood story you thought was insignificant. These moments of attentiveness aren't just sweet, they're a testament to how much space you occupy in his mind. Now, here's the key. Don't confuse being valued with being put on a pedestal. A man who truly values you won't idealize you to the point of ignoring reality. Instead, he'll appreciate your flaws, your quirks, and everything in between. He's not looking for perfection, he's looking for you. This kind of connection often builds a sense of safety and security. You know he's not just there for the highs, he's there for the lows too. And isn't that what we all want? Someone who doesn't just tolerate our imperfections but embraces them? But here's the catch. You have to recognize this kind of value when it's given to you. Stoicism reminds us to focus on what truly matters, to see past the superficial and appreciate what's real. In the world of Stoic dating, it's not about seeking constant validation but about recognizing when someone's actions align with their feelings. If he makes you feel valued in a genuine, consistent way, that's your cue to lean into the connection. Now, let's flip the question. How do you make him feel? Attraction is a two-way street. When someone invests in you emotionally, it's only fair to reciprocate. Celebrate his efforts, show gratitude for the little things he does, and let him know that you see his value too. This mutual recognition creates a foundation for something lasting. So, what's your takeaway here? The way he makes you feel during your vulnerable moments reveals his depth of attraction. If he's uplifting, attentive, and consistent, he's not just interested, he's invested. Now it's your turn. If you've ever experienced this kind of connection, like this video and comment number 1 below. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you never miss more insights like this. 5. Silent actions speak louder than words. Sometimes the most profound expressions of attraction don't come with grand declarations or dramatic gestures. Instead, they manifest in the quiet, almost unnoticed moments that reveal a man's true feelings. Have you ever experienced a situation where he didn't say much but his actions spoke volumes? If so, you've witnessed one of the clearest signs of genuine interest, when a man lets his silence, his consistency, and his presence do the talking. Let's explore this idea a little deeper. Imagine this. For whatever reason, you decide to take a step back from someone. Maybe life gets busy, or maybe you want to see how they respond to your absence. A man who is truly attracted to you won't let that distance linger. Instead, he'll find subtle ways to reinsert himself into your life. Maybe it's a casual message, "Hey, just checking in," or an unexpected gesture, like showing up when you least expect it. These small actions prove that even when you're not there, you're on his mind. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Sometimes he doesn't need to chase after you. Instead, his silence becomes his loudest statement. When a man is confident in his feelings, he won't resort to constant validation seeking or over-the-top attempts to prove himself. Instead, he'll create space for you to realize his value on your own. And when you do, you'll notice that he was always there, steady, supportive, and intentional. This is where Stoicism plays a role. Stoicism teaches us the art of calm, deliberate action. A Stoic man won't panic if you take a step back. He won't bombard you with calls or messages. Instead, he'll maintain a quiet strength, trusting that his consistent presence has already communicated his feelings. And when you do return, you'll find that he hasn't wavered. This kind of behavior isn't passive, it's powerful. Now, let's talk about why this approach works. When someone steps back from your life, it often forces you to confront their absence. You start to notice the void they've left behind, the way their laughter brightened your day, or how their presence made you feel grounded. If he's truly attracted to you, he's counting on this realization. He knows that his silence isn't neglect. It's a way of showing you that he respects your space, while still valuing the connection you share. But silent actions aren't just about absence. They're about the subtle, everyday things he does to remind you that he cares. Maybe he remembers a small detail you mentioned weeks ago and surprises you with it. Or perhaps he quietly supports you in ways you didn't even realize, by encouraging your growth, celebrating your wins, or simply being a calming presence when life feels overwhelming. These moments may seem insignificant at first, but they add up to something much larger. A man who's deeply invested in you. One of the most telling signs of this kind of attraction is his consistency. A man who genuinely cares doesn't just show up when it's convenient. He's there through the ups and downs, the mundane and the extraordinary. His actions don't waver based on circumstances. They're rooted in a genuine desire to be part of your life. This kind of steadiness is rare, and it's something to cherish. Now, let's address a potential misunderstanding. Silent actions don't mean he's emotionally distant or uninterested. On the contrary, they often mean he's deliberate in how he expresses his feelings. He's not rushing to impress you with flashy gestures because he knows that true connection takes time to build. His quiet confidence allows the relationship to unfold naturally, without the pressure of unnecessary theatrics. Think about it this way. If you stepped back today, would he notice your absence? More importantly, how would he respond to it? A man who is genuinely attracted to you won't let that absence go unnoticed. He'll find ways to make his presence known, not through desperation, but through steady, meaningful actions that remind you of his place in your life. So, the next time you wonder how he feels about you, don't just listen to his words. Pay attention to the quiet moments, the things he does without expecting recognition. Sometimes love isn't loud. It's a steady heartbeat in the background, always there, always dependable. These silent actions, though understated, are some of the clearest indicators that his feelings run deep. And when you recognize them for what they are, you'll realize that true attraction isn't about grand performances. It's about presence, consistency, and the quiet assurance that he values you just as you are. These are the signs that set him apart, and they're worth paying attention to as you continue your journey in discovering what real connection looks like. Stay tuned, because the next sign is all about the lessons taught by past relationships and how they shape the way he approaches his attraction to you. You won't want to miss it. 6. The lessons taught by past relationships. Let's take a moment to reflect. Have you ever wondered why some connections seem to feel more meaningful after a person has been through heartbreak? When a man has faced failed relationships in the past, it's not a sign of weakness. It's a sign that he's experienced the kind of emotional depth that helps him appreciate a genuine connection. If he's drawn to you, chances are his past has shaped the way he sees you, and that's something powerful. Here's the truth. The wrong relationships don't just hurt, they teach. Maybe he's been in situations where he felt unseen, unvalued, or misunderstood. Or perhaps he's made mistakes himself, learning the hard way what it means to truly care for someone. These experiences shape a man's ability to recognize something real when it comes along. When he's with you, he's not just thinking about the moment, he's seeing the potential for something better, something lasting. Think about this. How does he treat you compared to how he might have treated others in the past? If he's carrying the lessons of his previous relationships, you'll notice it in his actions. He'll approach you with a sense of intentionality, listening more carefully, showing patience, and valuing the small moments. He's learned not to take connection for granted, and it shows in the way he cherishes you. One of the most telling signs of this growth is his ability to communicate. Maybe he's been in relationships where communication broke down, leading to misunderstandings and pain. With you, he's working to be more open, more honest. He's not just talking, he's ensuring that what he says matches what he does. That kind of alignment comes from experience, from knowing what it's like to lose someone because of missteps he doesn't want to repeat. But let's not overlook the deeper emotional layer here. Past relationships often teach men to value emotional safety, the kind of connection where they can be themselves without fear of judgment. If he's attracted to you, he'll show it by creating that safe space for you too. Maybe he's more attentive to your needs, or he goes out of his way to make you feel comfortable. These are not just random acts of kindness, they're intentional moves born from the lessons his past has taught him. Now, let's talk about how this impacts his attraction to you. When a man has faced heartbreak, it often gives him a clearer sense of what he wants and doesn't want in a partner. If he's drawn to you, it's because he sees something in you that aligns with what he's been searching for. He's no longer interested in superficial connections, he's looking for substance. And when he sees that in you, his attraction is deeper than just physical, it's emotional and intellectual, too. At the same time, this kind of man brings a sense of gratitude into his attraction. He's been through enough to understand that real connection is rare, and he won't take it lightly. If he's investing time and energy into you, it's not just because he finds you interesting, it's because he sees something in you that he wants to nurture. But here's the catch. You can't fake this kind of connection. It only works if both people are willing to grow together. Stoic dating reminds us to approach relationships with patience and self-awareness. A man who values the lessons of his past won't rush into things. He'll take his time to understand you, to see if you're aligned in values and vision. This is where mutual growth becomes the foundation for something truly meaningful. Let me ask you this. Do you notice him treating you differently than others in his life? Does he show an attentiveness that feels unique, as though he's putting everything he's learned into practice with you? If so, it's a sign that his past has prepared him for this moment, for you. And isn't that what makes the connection so special? Knowing that everything he's been through has led him here, to this point, where he sees you as something worth pursuing. Here's your moment to share. If you've ever noticed someone using their past experiences to grow and connect more deeply, like this video and comment number 1 below. Let us know how those moments have shaped your own relationships. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss more insights like this. Trust me, the next sign is all about how he chooses actions over words, and it will completely change the way you see his intentions. 7. Prioritizing actions over words. Let's take a step back for a moment and think about this. How often do words fail to match actions? We've all encountered people who make promises they don't keep, say things they don't mean, or use words to fill the silence without ever intending to follow through. When a man is truly attracted to you, it's not his words that will stand out, it's his actions. In a world where it's easy to say the right thing, the real question is, what does he do when it matters most? Attraction isn't about the occasional compliment or a rehearsed line. It's about the way he shows up consistently, especially when it counts. When a man prioritizes actions over words, he's proving that his feelings are genuine, not just fleeting. Think about the small things. Does he follow through on what he says? If he tells you he'll call, does he? If he offers to help you with something, does he show up without making excuses? These seemingly insignificant moments are where his true intentions are revealed. Words are easy, but actions require effort, planning, and intention. A man who is genuinely attracted to you won't just tell you he cares, he'll prove it. Consider the times when life gets complicated. Maybe you're going through a stressful period at work or dealing with personal challenges. Does he step up to support you, or does he fade into the background? A man who prioritizes actions over words will find ways to be there for you, even if it's as simple as listening, offering advice, or just being present when you need him. These moments aren't always flashy, but they're profound because they show where his heart truly lies. But it's not just about how he acts when things are tough. Pay attention to how he invests in your happiness, even in the smallest ways. Maybe he surprises you with something thoughtful, like your favorite snack after a long day. Or perhaps he remembers something you mentioned in passing and brings it up later, showing that he's not only listening but also caring enough to act on what you've shared. These gestures may seem small, but they carry immense weight. Now, let's look at the bigger picture. A man who prioritizes actions over words isn't just trying to win your attention in the short term. He's building trust and creating a foundation for something lasting. Trust isn't built through declarations, it's built through consistency. Every time he follows through, every time he shows up, he's reinforcing the message. You can rely on me? This kind of behavior isn't accidental. It comes from a place of emotional maturity. He understands that attraction isn't just about appearances or fleeting emotions, it's about building something meaningful. When he chooses actions over empty promises, he's telling you that he values what you share, and he's willing to put in the effort to nurture it. But what about those moments when his actions seem quieter, less noticeable? Sometimes the most meaningful gestures aren't grand or obvious, they're subtle, almost invisible. Maybe it's the way he makes sure you get home safely after a date, or how he gives you space when he senses you need it. These understated acts of care show that he's paying attention, that he understands you on a deeper level. This approach ties into Stoicism, a philosophy that emphasizes calm, intentional actions over reactive emotions. In Stoic dating, the focus is on showing, not just saying. A man who embodies this principle will let his actions speak for him, trusting that they carry more weight than any words could. So, how do you recognize when someone is prioritizing actions over words? It's all about consistency. Look at the pattern of his behavior over time, not just isolated incidents. Is he showing up for you in ways that align with his words? Does he make you feel supported, valued, and understood? If the answer is yes, then you're witnessing one of the strongest signs of genuine attraction. Ultimately, actions reveal intentions in ways that words never could. A man who prioritizes actions over words is telling you something powerful. You're worth the effort, and I'm willing to prove it. And isn't that what we all want? Not just to be told we're important, but to feel it through someone's consistent, intentional effort. As we move forward, we'll explore the next sign of attraction, a deeply personal one that centers on how he lifts you up and encourages your growth. This next insight will show you how true connection goes beyond attraction and becomes a source of strength. Stay with me because this one might just change the way you see him and yourself. 8. Focus on how you uplift each other. Have you ever been around someone who makes you feel invincible? Someone who sees your potential even when you can't? If he's truly attracted to you, he won't just admire you from afar, he'll actively try to lift you up, making you feel stronger, more confident, and ready to take on the world. This isn't just attraction, it's admiration and support rolled into one. When a man is drawn to you in a deep, meaningful way, he becomes your cheerleader in the quietest yet most impactful ways. Maybe it's the way he celebrates your successes, no matter how small, or the way he encourages you to chase your dreams when self-doubt starts to creep in. These moments show that his interest in you isn't shallow. It's rooted in who you are and who you're striving to become. Think about it. Does he motivate you to grow? Does he inspire you to see yourself in a brighter light? A man who truly values you won't see your growth as a threat. He'll see it as something to celebrate. He'll push you toward the best version of yourself because, to him, your potential is something worth nurturing. Let's look at some real-life examples. Maybe he gives you thoughtful advice when you're facing a tough decision. Or perhaps he supports your ambitions, even if they require sacrifice or effort on his part. It's not about him taking credit, it's about him standing beside you as you climb higher. This kind of support shows not only attraction but also a deep respect for who you are as a person. But it's not a one-way street. True connection is about mutual uplifting. Ask yourself, do you feel the same urge to support and encourage him? When two people inspire each other to grow, they create a dynamic that's both powerful and rare. This isn't about dependency, it's about partnership. He sees you as an equal, someone who can stand beside him, not behind him. This mutual encouragement ties directly into Stoicism and the principles of Stoic dating. Stoicism teaches us to focus on self-improvement and resilience, and when two people bring this mindset into a relationship, it creates an energy that's unshakable. You're not just together because of attraction, you're together because you make each other stronger. Now, here's something fascinating. This uplifting energy often reveals itself in how he handles challenges. When you're struggling, does he step in with calmness and clarity? Does he offer solutions, not just sympathy? His ability to stay grounded and help you see the bigger picture shows that he's not just attracted to you, he's invested in your happiness and well-being. And what about the flip side? When he's going through a tough time, does he let you in? Attraction often deepens when both people feel safe enough to share their struggles and support each other through them. This isn't just about being a shoulder to cry on, it's about showing up for each other in ways that build trust, intimacy, and admiration. If you're wondering how to recognize this kind of connection, pay attention to how you feel around him. Do you feel empowered, motivated, and encouraged to be your best self? Does he make you feel like your goals matter and that your voice is heard? If so, you're experiencing one of the most meaningful signs of attraction, the ability to uplift each other in ways that go beyond words. Now it's your turn to share. If you've ever had someone in your life who made you feel stronger, more confident, and truly seen, like this video and comment number 1 below. Let us know how that connection shaped you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insights into relationships, psychology, and the little ways we connect. Stay tuned because the next sign is all about those quiet moments of thought, when he thinks of you first thing in the morning or before he falls asleep. It's a subtle yet powerful indicator of how deeply you're on his mind. You won't want to miss it. 9. The first and last person on his mind. Have you ever caught yourself wondering, am I really on his mind, or am I just another passing thought? Here's the thing, when a man is truly captivated by you, you won't just cross his mind occasionally. You'll find yourself occupying the quietest, most intimate corners of his thoughts, especially in those vulnerable moments of the day, when he first wakes up and just before he falls asleep. Think about it. The early morning and late night hours are when distractions are minimal and our minds wander to what matters most. If he's thinking about you during these times, it's not by accident. These moments are where his unfiltered emotions take over, free from the chaos of the day or the expectations of the world. If you're the first person he thinks about when his eyes open, or the last person he considers as he drifts off to sleep, it's a sign that you've carved out a space in his heart. But how can you tell? The signs are subtle, but they're there if you know what to look for. Does he reach out to you in the morning, sending a simple text like, "Good morning, how's your day looking?" Or does he make it a habit to check in with you at night, ensuring you're doing okay before he rests? These are not just casual gestures, they're intimate, deliberate acts of connection. They show that no matter how busy or distracted he might be, you're always present in his thoughts. And it's not just about the timing. Pay attention to what he says during these moments. Maybe he shares his plans for the day, seeking your input or simply wanting to involve you. Or perhaps he talks about the little things that made him think of you during the day, showing you how often you cross his mind. These moments of shared vulnerability, small as they may seem, are windows into how deeply he feels for you. Now, let's dive a little deeper into why these thoughts matter. When a man thinks of you during these quiet, reflective moments, it's often a sign of emotional intimacy. Attraction, after all, isn't just physical, it's mental and emotional too. If he's contemplating your role in his life when he's alone with his thoughts, it's a powerful indicator that you're not just a fleeting interest. You're someone he values deeply. But what about the unspoken signs? Sometimes a man may not openly share that he's thinking about you, but his actions reveal it. Maybe he brings up something you mentioned casually days ago, proving that your words lingered in his mind. Or perhaps he surprises you with something thoughtful, showing that he's been quietly paying attention. These gestures, though subtle, are his way of letting you know you matter without explicitly saying it. This kind of connection often grows over time. In the early stages, he might hesitate to let you know how much space you occupy in his mind. But as trust builds and his feelings deepen, these signs become more apparent. You'll start to notice a consistency in how he reaches out, how he listens, and how he prioritizes keeping you a part of his day. And here's the beauty of it. When someone thinks of you in these quiet moments, it's not about obligation, it's about genuine desire. He's not reaching out because he has to, he's reaching out because he wants to. It's the kind of attention that feels natural, unforced, and sincere. This ties back to the principles of Stoicism, where actions and intentions are rooted in authenticity rather than impulsiveness. In Stoic Dating, A man doesn't obsess or act out of desperation. Instead, his thoughts and actions flow from a place of genuine care and steadiness. If he's thinking of you in the stillness of the morning or the quiet of the night, it's because you've become a meaningful part of his emotional landscape. So, the next time he sends you that sweet good morning text or checks in late at night, remember, it's not just a casual gesture. It's a reflection of where you stand in his heart and mind. And when someone values you so deeply that you're the first and last thought of their day, it's a sign of something truly special. Stay tuned, because in the final sign, we'll explore the ultimate indicator of attraction, how he chooses to make you a priority, and what that reveals about the future of your connection. This one will tie everything together and show you exactly what true, lasting attraction looks like. Don't miss it. 10. Understanding his effort and intentions. Let's bring it all together now. Attraction isn't just about fleeting emotions or occasional gestures, it's about consistent effort and clear intentions. The ultimate sign that a man is truly captivated by you lies in the way he prioritizes you in his life, and more importantly, how he aligns his actions with his feelings. Think about this. When he says he cares about you, does he follow through? Words can be beautiful, but without action, they're hollow. A man who is genuinely attracted to you doesn't just talk about his feelings, he shows them. He prioritizes spending time with you, he listens when you speak, and he invests in understanding who you are. This effort goes beyond surface-level attraction. It's about building something real. But how does effort show up in practical ways? Maybe it's the way he adjusts his plans to make time for you, even when he's busy. Or perhaps it's how he goes out of his way to solve small problems for you, just to make your life a little easier. He might remember your preferences, like how you take your coffee, or the kind of music that lifts your mood. These aren't just random acts, they're intentional, thoughtful choices that reveal his genuine interest. Let's not forget the importance of consistency. Attraction that leads to something meaningful isn't built on sporadic attention, it's built on steady, reliable actions. Does he make an effort to check in with you regularly? Does he ensure that his presence in your life feels dependable, not uncertain? A man who consistently puts in the effort to nurture the connection is someone who values you, plain and simple. But there's another layer to this. Effort isn't just about what he does when things are easy. It's about how he shows up when things get hard. Life will throw challenges your way, and his response in those moments says a lot about his intentions. Does he offer support without hesitation? Does he find ways to help, even if it's just being there as a steady presence? These actions speak volumes about how deeply he feels for you. And what about his intentions? A man who is genuinely attracted to you will make his intentions clear over time. He won't leave you guessing about where you stand. Maybe he talks about the future in a way that includes you, plans for trips, shared goals, or even small things like what you'll do next weekend. These moments show that he sees you as more than a fleeting connection. He sees you as someone worth building with. This ties into Stoicism and the principles of Stoic dating. A Stoic man isn't swept away by impulsive emotions. He approaches relationships with intention and clarity. His actions are deliberate, thoughtful, and grounded in respect for you and the connection you share. He doesn't just say he values you, he proves it through consistent, intentional effort. But let's not forget about you. Attraction is a two-way street. Are you reciprocating his effort? Are you showing him that his actions matter to you? Relationships thrive when both people are willing to invest their time, energy, and care. A man who puts in effort deserves the same in a return, and together, this mutual investment can create something extraordinary. Take a moment to reflect. Is he aligning his words with his actions? Does his effort make you feel seen, valued, and supported? If the answer is yes, then you've uncovered one of the strongest signs of genuine attraction. This kind of connection isn't just about fleeting chemistry. It's about building trust, respect, and a shared vision for the future. As we wrap up, remember this: attraction is not a mystery. The signs are there if you pay attention to the right things. It's in the way he prioritizes you, the way he listens, and the effort he makes to show you that you matter. True attraction isn't loud or dramatic, it's steady, intentional, and unmistakable. Now that we've walked through the 10 unmistakable signs of a man's attraction, one thing becomes clear. True feelings aren't just expressed in words or grand gestures. They're revealed in the quiet, consistent ways he chooses to show up for you. From prioritizing you in his life to his subtle physical cues, to the ways he lifts you up and values your presence, every action tells a story about his intentions and depth of emotion. But here's the most important takeaway. Attraction isn't just about recognizing these signs in someone else. It's about recognizing your own worth and understanding what you deserve. Relationships built on real connection, mutual effort, and genuine respect aren't just magical, they're intentional. They're created by two people who see each other as equals and are willing to invest in building something meaningful together. As you reflect on these signs, ask yourself, do his actions align with his words? Does his presence in your life uplift you, encourage your growth, and make you feel valued? If the answer is yes, then you're likely dealing with something rare and beautiful, a connection that goes beyond surface attraction and dives into something much deeper. But here's the thing, it's not just about him, it's about you too. When you show up as your best self, grounded in confidence and self-worth, you naturally attract the right energy into your life. This is the essence of Stoicism, which teaches us to remain centered, calm, and intentional in how we approach relationships. By embracing this mindset, you're not only able to recognize genuine attraction, you're able to cultivate it in a way that feels natural and fulfilling. As we close, let me leave you with this. True attraction is an art, not a science. It's not something you force, and it's not something you chase. It's something that unfolds when two people connect on a level that transcends the superficial. When you recognize these signs in someone, lean into the connection, but don't forget to keep your sense of self intact. The most beautiful relationships are those where both people feel seen, valued, and supported as they grow together. Thank you for joining me on this journey of understanding the subtle yet powerful signs of attraction. If you found this video helpful and insightful, please like and subscribe to our channel for more relationship advice, psychology insights, and tools to help you navigate the complexities of human connection. And if you've experienced any of these signs in your own life, feel free to share your story in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, take care of your heart, stay true to yourself, and remember, real love is never about chasing, it's about choosing and being chosen in return.